Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Ryan on your Sports Lines Den channel. Um, I had to change a few things up yesterday because the fact is, the last 2 days I've been taking some losses, and I just decided to change things up on my bets. I went with some kind of like a gut feel and a couple picks. I put like $14 down, which right now so far in the last 4 days I've lost 55 cents on that $15 challenge. I want to say this: it's yesterday was pretty big. Lost a couple parlays, and but I've noticed one thing when I've actually been tracking all my bets on my tablet and everything, and I'm seeing that I've been hitting every single two-teamer. If I go anything over 3 or 4 or 5, I've been losing. But two-teamers, I've always been hitting it. Uh, so I could put in two-teamers today, plus a bunch of straight bets. I actually had a couple of free picks from covers.com, and I didn't wasn't able to put another two-teamer in due to the fact is I caught the game. I just woke up right about 11 o'clock this morning, and unfortunately, the Washington Capitals game was part of my picks for my hockey, and they started at 9:30 in the morning. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that game in, but I was able to put the other game in on a straight bet. So plus, I've got two fields. I did some research last night. I like this one because the fact is, it was the month of January. This team is starting to get hot at the right time. I'm hoping they still pull it off. They won me some. They hit on a parlay with me yesterday. Um, without further ado, let me get you to some of the picks or all the picks that I put in today. Um, Starting with, I put the Clippers and the Lakers on a money line parlay, a two-teamer. Every one of these picks, I had to knock it all the way down because this one was supposed to be a $4 bet. I dropped it down to a $2 bet, all the way down. So everything's $2. I've got 7 picks going in, $14 worth of play. Um, this next one, this parlay was a feel. I looked at it. I wanted some lone lines versus some teams with winning records versus losing records. I took the Loyola Maryland college basketball team at a +0, and I parlayed it with Lafayette at a -3. Now, I'm kind of very fond of the name Lafayette. It is my middle name, but I parlayed those two, put $2 down on it. Let's see what we can do with that one. Some of the straight bets that I just got, these are the free picks from covers.com. Um, the University of Washington at a -5 against USC at 7 o'clock tonight. Um, I took the Eagles. This is probably one of the first NFL parlay I put in, or NFL pick I put in today or this month. The Eagles under 44.5 tonight. Um, that one I'm going to say I'm thinking is going to be good because I like to see it. I like the defense in Seattle. I took the Miami Heat on the money line for $2. The Chicago Blackhawks on the money line for $2, and then I got an underdog pick. Everybody thinks Carolina's going to win this one, but my Tampa Bay's won the last 2 games in January straight up. I mean, they have no overtime. They've won them straight out. Um, Carolina's down a little bit, so I'm going to say they've lost their first game. This is their second game of the month, so it's still pretty early. But I'm liking the difference between them. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it out there and go, all right. All those games, I'm taking Lightning on an underdog money line. And just letting you know, I've just been looking up all these little tidbits that I want to get this in there before I even start anything. Been seeing all these little rumors about Tom Brady basically being done and possible because he lost yesterday. As I was telling somebody, I said, you know what? Um, if he moves, I'm not gonna. Everybody's like, well, maybe he's not gonna move. He's a New England and all that. Yeah, there's sometimes you can be a Derek Jeter and stay with one team. You can be a Reggie Miller and stay with one team. But even like some of the greats, like Peyton Manning, Michael Jordan, Joe Montana, they all ended up at the very end of their career moving to another team. If you don't believe me, look at Michael Jordan. He gave 2 years up and went to minor league baseball, came back and was a Washington Wizard, not a Chicago Bull. Peyton Manning went from Indianapolis to Denver, won a Super Bowl with Denver and Indianapolis. So he's one of those quarterbacks that can do it two ways. Joe Montana, a lot of people think he's just the Hall of Fame 49er. Yeah, believe me, he ended up going to Kansas City when Steve Young took the job in San Francisco. People don't remember that. But for Tom Brady to move to another team, a lot of people were saying that would say, you know what, that would be the worst thing he could do. You know what? I honestly think it might be better because if he wants to establish that he's actually pretty great, because a lot of people don't see him as a great player. Me, I'm not one of those guys. Statistically, he is. He's one of the best in the game. But if you watch his game, he's more of the greatest playmaking manager that I've ever seen because he knows exactly. He takes what it gives him and lets his receivers do it. Quick, quick, short drives. He's not the guy that throws the ball down halfway down the field and expects somebody to catch it. No, this guy is actually a man that dinks and dunks. If you don't believe me, look at how many times he's thrown to his tight ends and his slot receivers. He's not aiming to throw the long ball down on. When he had the arm strength, he used to throw it to Randy Moss all the time. But not now. He's more of a dink and dunk kind of passer. So, and he gets a lot of his yards on those little short passes and the yards after the catch. So, plus, a lot of the Super Bowls that he won were actually very close games, and Adam Vinatieri won about two of those Super Bowls for him on the very last kick. So um, a lot of the times, that's why I say Tom Brady's one of those players that he was put in a great system and all that. But for him to be established as one of the greatest of all times, he's always going to be contributed with Bill Belichick and how his play calling and everything like that gets involved. I'm going to tell you this. I could see him another team and turning that team and getting them to the playoffs and getting them established. And if they even win the Super Bowl, that might squash a lot of this Tom Brady is not the greatest talk. Now, mind you, I've been a Tom Brady. I haven't been a fan of Tom Brady for many, many years. But you know what? I could see it would change my opinion on him if he can do the same thing, even at his age of 42. If he can do the same thing and actually turn around and turn that team and go to another team. Some of the teams that are up for grabs is possibly the Colts, possibly the Chargers. And you know what? He's a California kid. I would love to see him with Los Angeles. Um, those kind of teams, especially, and then you'd have, unfortunately, you like Denver, Las Vegas, and Kansas City all looking going crap. We got him in our division now, but they'll play him at least. But that's a tough division. He might not win that division because you know what? You got Patrick Mahomes on that division. You've got um not too bad of quarterbacks. You got some average quarterbacks in Joe Flacco and Derek Carr. But you got these guys, and then you add Tom Brady into the mix. It's not the AFC East. It's the AFC West. They're very little bit tougher. I still say the toughest division is the NFC West because I'm sorry to say, even with the San Francisco and Seattle um, Rams just right there. They went to the Super Bowl last year, and this year Arizona, even though they were down on the barrel, believe me, they're kicking up a notch. They're going to be very strong within the next several years. Um, a lot of other football talk today. We're actually kind of watching the other games going on. Somehow they changed the used to like AFC NFC wildcard weekends to be literally I have an AFC game and an NFC game in one day, and then on a Saturday and an AFC NFC game on a Sunday. This year they did it all AFC on one day, NFC on Sunday. It's like they changed it around. They've been changing a lot of things around. So one thing about the NFL though is that in this discussion is now you get two NFC teams. Um, Honestly, I'm looking at it going, it's very confused. First of all, I always say it's confusing, but I'm waiting for those ones where it's like, all right, I want to see how we're not going to have a repeat Super Bowl contender because New England's out and the Rams didn't even make it to the playoffs, thanks to San Francisco pulling the chain on that one. But this year it's going to be fun. I'm going to actually enjoy watching this game this year because now you've got other two more brand new fan bases going in and watching this game. Now there's this game is gonna start at 1:40. It's already 11:30 in the morning. I'm gonna tell you, Seattle and Philadelphia. My guess is it's gonna be. I'm gonna take a Seattle +1. If I would have to do a mystery pick, I would take a Seattle +1 because not to be mean, um, Carson Wentz still has a lot to prove because those Eagles teams did not win um, the Super Bowl or those playoff games with Carson Wentz because of his ACL or in his leg injuries. They won them with Nick Foles. Nick Foles is now down in Jacksonville, possibly with an injury, and Gardner Minshew's taking over. Here's the Russell Wilson. Now, I still like him. If Seattle wins this game, if Seattle wins this game, there's a good chance that um, they might have to play San Francisco for a third time coming up in the championship round or in the divisional round. Um, I would love to see another San Francisco Seattle battle. One of those two teams are going to make the playoffs or make the Super Bowl. Here's the thing that I always say. Um, Looking at the games right now, it looks like the Vikings might be playing the 49ers after beating the Saints. Because right now I'm looking at a 13-10 Vikings over Saints in the just was in the second period, so or second quarter. But I think I've done enough ranting and raving today. But I've already given you this is my $15 Sportsbooks challenge. A lot of you guys weren't expecting me to keep having that $15 all the way through 5 days. So let's keep it going. Let's see how far we can turn that $15. All right. This is James Ryan from the Lions Den, and I'm out.